All right. Hi, good morning. Welcome everybody to our RAM Ready Business Pathway meeting. My name is Lori Swain and I'm one of the business counselors here at Fresno City College. And then today with us, we also have Susana Garcia.
Hi, everybody. My name is Susana Garcia. I'm one of the general counselors, and I see mostly business students. So welcome to the fall semester.
Wonderful. All right. So today we are just going to introduce what a pathway is. We're going to review some of the majors in the business pathway. We're going to talk a little bit about special programs and some resources, and then we're going to open it up to some Q&A from you guys. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let us know. If you guys don't have any questions, we do have some common questions that we'll share with you guys and answer. All right. So we have a welcome from one of our faculty members.
Hello, and welcome to the Business Division at Fresno City College. My name is Melinda Shirey, though around here most people refer to me as Miss Mindy, and I teach in the Business and Technology Department. Now, I'm disappointed that we have to do everything remotely because of the whole stay-at-home COVID-19 situation, but I have to confess, I'm really excited about this coming semester and looking forward to meeting the students and working with you, even if we are online. So be sure you check in, go to your instructor's office hours, because like me, I'm sure they're excited about meeting you and having a great semester together. See you online.
All right, and I just want to definitely emphasize, you want to take advantage of your instructor's office hours. So typically they're on campus, sitting in their office, like, 5 hours a week at their specified times, just waiting for students to come knock on their door. But now that we're on an online environment, they still have those office hours. So they should be posted in their syllabus when they're available. They should be available via Zoom, which is what you guys are in right now. So you should be able to meet with your instructor one-on-one at any time during those office hours. So definitely take advantage of them. That's going to be a great resource for you guys. You guys want to get to know your instructors so they get to know you, because they have a lot of connections as well. If you guys are interested in internships, or if you guys have any more questions about your major, they're in the profession and they have a lot of friends in the profession. So that's usually a really great resource for you guys.
It's a good way to start networking.
Yes, definitely. All right, so these are your 3 full-time main counselors. It's myself, Ernesto, and Susana. So we are all business counselors. We focus on just counseling our business students. We have really great relationships with all of our faculty in the business division, which is kind of the reason why we have this pathway, right? So instead of having a counselor that needs to know all 500 majors that Fresno City College has and all the nuances with each major, we kind of separated our counselors into different pathways. So we can really focus on the business majors, so we know all the changes that are upcoming. We talk to the faculty to kind of figure out what they want as far as advising and kind of what order and what's the best classes to take together to make you guys the most successful. So that's kind of the reason why you have a pathways team. And then in addition to the pathways team, we also have a financial aid specialist, we have intervention specialists. So we are basically here to help you guys be successful. So anything that you guys need, we definitely want you guys reaching out to us because we don't know if you need help if you stay quiet. So definitely email us, get to know us. You should meet with us at least once a semester. We want to know you. We want to see how your semester's going, and we want to follow you through the progression of the semesters that you guys will be here. So again, my name is Lori. My email is here on the screen. If you guys want to write that down, definitely write down any of our emails that you guys would like. Just a fun fact about me, I used to work as a sign language interpreter before I started working as a counselor. And so I still do that a little bit on the side. So I do know American Sign Language. And then Susana.
Again, my name is Susana, and my email is right there as well, like Lori mentioned. If you want to write that down, to email us with any questions, or if you are wanting to make an appointment with any of us, you send us an email, a quick email saying, hey, I need an appointment to meet with you. We can always help you to set that up and then meet with you guys. A fun fact about me is that I have a sport car in my garage, but I don't know how to drive it because it's a stick shift. So I need a little more practice on that. But it's sitting on my garage, so sometimes I feel that is kind of like waste of space right there, because I don't take it for a drive that much, or not even my husband. But once in a while we do, and I probably is one of those things that in the near future I would love to learn how to drive it, so that I can drive it a little more often. So there you go.
Perfect. All right. And then we have Ernesto, who might be joining us a little bit later. And his fun fact that he wanted to share was that he has attended the longest World Series game in the history. He's a Dodgers fan for sure. I know that. But the Dodgers beat the Red Sox in Game 3 at the Dodger Stadium. And I guess it was an 18-inning game. It lasted 7 hours and 20 minutes. I don't know. Is baseball normally like 9, 10?
Yeah, I believe it's 7 or 9. Yeah, it depends.
So yeah, that is a lot. It's like 2 baseball games all in one. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So moving on, that's just a little bit about us. Definitely reach out. Like, we want you guys to reach out to us. We want you guys to never have a question that you don't have answered. Like, just email us. It's super easy. And I know all of us are really great about responding to emails pretty quickly. So definitely reach out. Real quick about some of the majors in the business pathway. We have 2 associate degree for transfers. And these are the majors that you're going to want to follow if you're interested in transferring to a 4-year university, specifically a California State University like Fresno State. The reason you want to follow one of these ADTs is because you'll go in as a junior and only have your junior senior left to complete. So 2 years at Fresno City for the ADT, that associate's degree for transfer, and then 2 years after you transfer. So definitely the right path if that's what you want to do, if you want to transfer and get that bachelor's degree at a later time. Some of the other majors that we have certificates, which are just major classes, no general ed, which means no English, no math, no communication, no science, just the classes you want to learn. So if you're getting an accounting certificate, you would only take accounting classes and like computer classes that are related to accounting to get you the skills needed to get into the workplace. That's the quickest way to get in and out of school with the skills needed to get like an entry-level job. We also have associate's degrees, which would be the same as that certificate, those major classes, in addition to some general education. It's not going to be as much general education as you would need for that associate's degree for transfer, because you're not fully preparing for the 4-year degree, but just you will have to have English, math, communication, and some of the general ed classes. So we have the associate's degrees and the certificates and the associate's degrees for transfer. You definitely want to meet with a counselor and make sure that you know which route you're going on and which is the best fit for you. You want to try to think long-term. So like not necessarily what you want to do this year, but like where do you want to be working in 5 years? You know, if you want to be a CPA, like a certified public accountant, you might think, oh, accounting is the major I want, so I'm going to tell my counselor I want an accounting major. But a CPA actually requires a bachelor's degree to sit for the California Board of Accountancy test. So we would actually put you on the associate's degree for transfer in business administration, most likely. So again, you want to talk to your counselor to make sure that the path that you're on is going to get you to where you want to be in maybe 5 or 10 years.
Yes.
Some of the subjects, this is not all of them, but we have accounting, business administration, and management. We have entrepreneurship, which would be like the certificate we have here as a picture. If you're wanting to get some skills to maybe start or run your own business, or maybe you know a friend who is like in cosmetology and cuts people's hair, but doesn't want to rent a booth from someone anymore, they want to open up their own business, or somebody that wants to like buy a food truck and run a food truck and they want to start their own small business, that's what those entrepreneurship classes are for. And so we do have a certificate just to, again, get you the skills needed to go do what you want to do. So we have the entrepreneurship, we have finance certificates, we have marketing, and we have office professional and legal professional if you're interested in working in like an office environment. All right, so again, talk to your counselor if you guys have any questions about any of these programs. We are here to answer your questions.
Another thing just to add into that, Lori, before we move on, is that if you have any questions, or if you later on, if you change your mind about your major or certificate or anything like that, please let us know, because the classes that are required for accounting or business administration or whatever you're planning, and then if you want to change, those classes will most likely will change. So you want to reach out to us to make sure that you're taking the right classes for whatever degree or associates or transferring, whatever you're planning to do in the near future, so that you can take the right classes for that.
Yes, that's a great point. And if you're not sure, that's okay too. Just let the counselor know, and they can plan classes that will go either direction for your first semester or two.
Yes, yes.
All right, thanks.
Okay, so now we're going to be talking about some special programs that we have here at Fresno City College. So what special programs am I eligible for? We have a wide range of special programs that you can select from, but just to highlight a few of them right here, we have EOPS, Puente, CalWorks. Some of these special programs, they assist and they offer additional services to students who qualify for these services. So some of the services that they provide, we will say priority registration. That is like a gold ticket when you're registering, because you go to, per se, the front of the line and you pick whatever classes you want from the schedule without having to wait until the last minute or until later on when classes get full and you're struggling to put your schedule together. So priority registration is a big plus when you are part of these special programs. You have an assigned counselor who you have to meet maybe once or more than once each semester, so that they can guide you on the classes that you need. If you have any questions or if you need additional support, they're always there for you. They have certain type of grants. For example, EOPS, they have book grants that they can help you to purchase your books. So that is a big plus when you are in college, because books are not cheap. You're gonna be spending quite a bit of money on books. So if this special program is going to be covering that expense for you, that is a big plus as well. They provide financial aid assistance. They have some very fun and exciting field trips that they take you to different universities to get to know, what is after FCC. They have classes that are cohorted for you, so that way you know that you're going to be having a seat on that special class. For example, it might be an English class or a math class, because they know how hard it is to get in some of these classes. So they have assigned those classes and put it aside for those students who are in those special programs. Yes, they give you all this services. However, you have to have certain requirements or meet certain requirements for you to be eligible for these programs. Some of those requirements, it might be that you have to be enrolling 12 units to be full-time, that you have to have a certain income requirement. For some of those programs, you have to be a first-generation college student. So it could be different things, or you can meet different requirements to trying to get into those programs if you qualified and you want to be part of these special programs. And then, Lori, can we go to the website so that we can show them where they can see? Are we able to do that? So they can see the long list of special programs that we have, and we can always go into the website and show you. Even though we are highlighting only 3 of them right here on our PowerPoint, we have a long list of special programs that they serve different populations. It depends on what kind of major you're gonna get into, or if you qualify for, to be part of that special program as well, like I was telling you.
Okay, got it.
Thank you. So right here on the website, we have all the programs that we have. If you see right here on the right-hand side, programs and organizations, they give you a long list of all the special programs that we have here at Fresno City. And then you can just, click on that, read a little bit about it, and see if that is something that you might be interested in joining. Like I was telling you, you have to meet certain requirements, but you benefit a lot from all the services that they provide to you. We have the honors program, the network scholars, Next Stop, RAIND, REACH, SIMBA. Some of these special programs, they emphasize on special populations, but some other programs you can always apply to be part of this program and get those services that they provide. Anything else, Lori, on that I might have forgotten?
Nope, I think that's good.
Okay.
And we will go back to our PowerPoint here. All right. So another program we want to talk about is our Career and Employment Center. This is a really great resource on campus. When you guys need help looking for a job, if you need somebody to look over your resume, if you want some help doing like maybe a mock interview, or maybe you got an interview and you don't have anything to wear, definitely visit our Career Center because we do have a clothes closet. They can help you guys get interview attire. They can, again, do mock interviews with you, look over your resume, and even help look for a part-time job if you guys are interested. We do have an app called Job Speaker where companies will come to Fresno City College and say, we want to hire a Fresno City College accounting student. And so then that goes into our system only. It doesn't get opened up to the whole city of Fresno. So we do have really great resources. But again, if you don't search out and you don't reach out to those counselors and the people that work in our Career Center, then you're not going to know about those resources and those benefits. So I would say the main thing today that we're trying to get across from you guys is there's so many resources and so many opportunities out there, but you have to reach out and ask for them. You have to participate in tutoring. You have to email us. You kind of have to take that first step, and then we're here to help support you guys on the rest of that journey. So when we're on campus, we have a Career Center, but of course right now we're all virtual. So you can definitely meet with a career counselor virtually. They do have a website on at Fresno City College. If you just go onto our website from the
main website. There you go.
Yeah, apparently my links did not. Oh, Ernesto's here. Hey,
Hi.
you want to say hello?
Hello, everybody. Sorry I'm late. I had a issue with the baby come up, but yeah, so my name's Ernesto. I am one of your counselors. And just to chime in on what Lori was saying regarding the Career Center, I think that is a very important resource for you as a student. I was at Fresno City College once back in 2003, and I had chosen a major on a whim. I'll tell you guys a story. I was driving down Blackstone one day and I saw this guy driving a Porsche, and I was like, man, that guy looks so cool. Like, what does he do? He must have been a business major, and that's how I chose my major. That was crazy, and it just did not apply to me. And as I went through the courses, I just realized that it wasn't a good fit. And I wish I would have had a resource like the Career Center to choose my major, because they will help you identify the appropriate major and career based on your skills, your interests, and your values. So I like to think of a major selection and career selection kind of like a marriage. You're going to be tied to this probably for the rest of your life, and you want to make a good decision. And how you do that is to provide yourself with as much information as possible, and the Career Center will do that for you. And so take advantage of that resource. It's free, and it'll be the best use of your time if you take advantage of them. So yeah.
Perfect. And then so on our website, if you just go to Campus Life and then you can click right here on Career and Employment Center, you can definitely read all about how to get in touch with our career counselors and some of the resources that they provide. And again, there's that Job Speaker app that I had talked about earlier, so you guys can kind of play around on that later. I know there's so many resources that we're showing you guys during RAM Ready, but it's just because we have so many opportunities out there. Okay, so we're almost done. Bear with us, you guys, and then we're going to get to some questions. All right, this is our dean. His name is Tim Woods. So if you guys have any issues when you guys are here, let us know first. Let the counselor know, because we're going to be able to guide you. Maybe it's talking to your instructor first, or maybe you need to go directly to, the Dean of Student Services if you're having an issue where you don't feel safe with another student. There are so many possibilities that could happen. And so we just want you to reach out to us and let us know, and then we can guide you into which direction might be the best. But hopefully you guys never have to meet with the dean. Hopefully you guys never have an issue, but he is here to support you guys, and he is going to be an advocate for you guys if you guys have any issues. So we just wanted to kind of introduce him and let you guys know that he is here if you guys need him. And this is a picture of the business faculty. So these are going to be some of the instructors that you guys are going to see in some of your main classes. They're all really excited to come back this fall semester. We all are. We're super excited to have new students, and we're super excited to have business students specifically. All right, that's going to wrap up the presentation on our end. So now we want to open it up to any questions. So feel free to unmute yourself, or you can type in the chat if you don't feel like, asking your question verbally. And we'll give it a couple seconds here. And then if not, the counselors here, me and Susana and Ernesto, will let you guys know some common questions that get asked, and then we can answer those. But thank you guys so much for joining us today. Hopefully you guys learned a little bit, and we want you guys to reach out to us, meet with us so that we can get to know you guys and help you guys plan your classes.
So I have a question.
Perfect.
And my question is, what is the difference between getting a Bachelor of Science and a Bachelor of Arts when it comes to going to my field? And I was telling you about that.
Yeah, because you had wanted to transfer on and get that master's degree. So as far as my understanding, the college is going to have a degree, and that degree is either going to be a bachelor's of science or a bachelor's of arts. So when you pick your major at that school, it's already going to be decided whether it's an arts or a science. I think previously, like a long time ago, when schools were just getting started, one was a terminal degree that was not continued, and one was more of a transfer, like continue your education. But now they're really kind of interchangeably. So like I have a bachelor's of arts because that's just what my bachelor's was in. And then my master's was a master's of science, just because counseling was considered a science at Fresno State. Ernesto, Susana, did you guys want to chime in on that?
Some other degrees, the Bachelor of Arts is more concentrated on, based on arts per se, and science it has more of a science emphasis, and you will be taking more science courses if it's a Bachelor of Science. But if you're going to go into something that is arts, like per se history or business administration, some schools that have a Bachelor of Science or a Bachelor's of Arts, it depends on the school. But if you are receiving or working towards a Bachelor of Science, then you're going to be taking quite a bit more science courses than if you are working towards a Bachelor of Arts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like a nursing degree will always be an Associates of Science or a Bachelor's of Science.
Yes.
And an art degree is always going to be an Associates of Arts or a Bachelor's of Arts. And then the ones that are kind of in the middle, that there are some that can go either way.
Yes.
So Ernesto, just so you'll know, because you weren't quite familiar, I'm transferring into San Jose State University, and I'm getting my bachelor's in business administration with a concentration in human resources. That's my major. My minor is Spanish. And then I'm staying with San Jose State University and getting my MBA.
Oh, wow. All right.
Right. And so with that, I just didn't know, because I've heard a lot of things between Bachelor's of Science and Bachelor's of Art, the difference between the two. And I just wanted to know, because you guys don't offer a Bachelor's of Science here in,
That city. Yes.
Yeah, most community colleges will not offer a bachelor's. We're a good stepping stone to the university because
for the transfer of Bachelor's of Science is what I'm saying.
Correct.
It's the transfer of Bachelor's of Art, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you for letting me know.
Okay.
All right. Did that answer your question, China?
Yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, and the last question is, for the heavy math classes, because I found out, I didn't realize it until I got into this thing, that it's heavy in math. My God. And so since it's heavy in math, and we'll be having a lot of math classes. Hopefully next semester we won't be online. Thank you, Jesus. I'm putting it out in the atmosphere, right?
Yeah.
Will you guys work with me on not having to do all of the heavy lifting and math all at the same time?
Yeah, definitely we can plan out your schedule and try to not overload you with other difficult classes when you're maybe in like pre-calc. So China had mentioned earlier she wanted to go to San Jose, which is one of the CSUs that requires calculus for business majors.
Yes.
If you guys are going to Fresno State, you're not going to be required to do calculus. You're just going to need the finite math and then a business statistics class. But China's going a different route. So we are going to plan probably, you know, trigonometry, pre-calc, calc 1, and maybe calc 2 for her. And so, yeah, we'll try to pick out that difficult math class, like which is going to be the most difficult, and maybe not give you, you know, accounting and business law and, you know, statistics all at the same time. So yeah, definitely sit down with your counselor and get that comprehensive student educational plan, which will plan out every single semester that you're going to be with us until you go, so that you can see that overall picture and say like, okay, these are all well-balanced semesters. You're not going to have one super easy semester and then one that's just like overwhelmingly difficult. So yeah, we can definitely help you with that.
Okay, so will I be able to sit down with you guys on a one-to-one, somebody on a breakout session before I go to the next step today? Or, well, how is that going to work? Because I think I was transferred to you, Lori.
Yeah,
I think I was. Yeah,
I can schedule an appointment with you today. We have
that would be great.
so many events happening with Ram Ready. We're really just kind of focusing on getting started. But we can meet next week. I have open appointments. We could meet the following week. We could meet as often as you would like to. But we can definitely schedule the appointment today.
That would be great, because I do not want to be overwhelmed in the end, because I promise you I'll probably be laying in front of Ernesto's door saying, okay, treat me like the baby right now, because I am stressed out.
Yeah, so we can
have two babies
we'll schedule something for you today.
Okay.
That actually is a great
You're asking really good questions, by the way. These are questions that are very common that we get.
Yeah. I want to show you guys how to schedule an appointment with us.
Yes.
So that way, if you guys don't get an appointment scheduled today, or at a later time you decide that you want to meet with us, that way you guys will know how. If you go onto our website, that's pretty much where you're always going to start with Fresno City College. The quickest way, there's two ways really. Under academics, you can go under counseling, or you can go under the academic divisions. So I typically go under the academic divisions because I work for the business division. So either way, you guys will be able to find the counselor. And you want to find your division, which is the business education division. And then if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's going to be a link that says make an appointment with a counselor. You're just going to click on that link, and then it's going to ask you to log in just like you would log into Canvas or your email. And then you'll be able to make an appointment right there. I'm not going to log in right now just because I am logged in and I don't want to share any personal information with students that I have appointments with today, because that is what's going to pop up. I didn't log out before I started this. The other way is if you go into the counseling, you guys can select, you guys can actually select new student counseling, but I would actually recommend doing the returning student, because that's going to give you me and Susana and Ernesto to get that comprehensive plan. So current student, and then you guys will just click student success team video phone counseling appointment right here. And then kind of the same thing, you can click into the business division, and then they'll have you log in just like this. And then it will bring you into it's going to be Starfish, which is the app that we use to schedule appointments. It's very self-explanatory. You can kind of click around. It's pretty easy. If you have any issues scheduling appointments, just send one of us an email.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you so much.
No problem. Something else I did want to mention was we are having a career and employment center session as part of Ram Ready. So you guys can check the website if you guys want to meet our career center counselors today as well. And then you can also sign up to get daily email reminders for Ram Ready. So if you go back to the Ram Ready website after this, they can definitely help out with that.
Okay.
So somebody asked a question on the chat, do I know who my counselor is for business? So it would be any of us. You get to choose your counselor, and you can switch at any time if we make you mad. My recommendation would be to try to stick with one counselor, because you're gonna get the same SEP, you're gonna get the same updates, and sometimes if you see multiple counselors, we sometimes have different ideas, or we may just say, like, maybe plan things differently. And then sometimes students get frustrated and confused. So I would recommend just picking one of us, and then just kind of maintaining that relationship so that we know you, we know your goals, and we can kind of help guide you into whatever career you're wanting to go into. If you want to meet with all three of us, you guys are all welcome to. But again, you don't have an assigned counselor. We are the business counselor, so you can see any of us. You could really see any counselor on campus. I wouldn't recommend that. I would definitely recommend one of us, just because, again, we have those relationships with the faculty, and we kind of have the most up-to-date information on class offerings, major changes, updates that are coming down the pipeline that might not be published yet, but we know they're gonna happen. So we can kind of advise you guys into the right way based on what's gonna come down. Great question. All right. Susana or Ernesto, do you guys want to pick a question and answer it?
Let's see what we got.
Okay.
One of the questions that we get a lot is, can you change your major? And the answer is yes. And we actually think that is very common for students to change their major. And like I mentioned earlier, in regards to the career assessments, you may start taking classes and you're like, man, I really don't like these classes. It just doesn't fit me. And that's something that we encourage you all to do, is to find a subject matter and a major that you're really passionate about, because that's when you're going to develop that motivation, and you're going to be far more likely to succeed if you choose a major that you're forcing yourself to do. A lot of our students will choose majors because their parents wanted them to do a certain major, or like me, I saw some dude driving a Porsche and I was like, I got to become a business major. So those are all reasons that, I mean, I definitely discourage that, and encourage students to do something that they're really passionate about, even if it's not business. Like we have a ton of other majors, and that's the beauty of Fresno City College, that we have so many other majors and so many other course offerings that we have something for you. So feel free to talk to us about that. Even though we're business counselors, we also know the other majors that we have on campus, and we can direct you to that major and those specific counselors as well. So whatever it is, on a side note, if you ever have a question, count on us as your resource and your point people for direction. We have a ton of resources at Fresno City College, and so you're in good hands with us, and we will always point you in the right direction. So yeah.
And if we don't know the answer, we will find out for you and then get back to you. So even if we don't have the information right there and there when you're asking about it, we can tell you what, I don't know about this right now, but I will find out and I will get back to you. So we will figure out, and then we find out for you.
Yeah.
Yes. One of the questions that I want to use to point out is that, or that students ask quite a bit, is that, can I take some of my courses at another campus? Since we are a district, a multi-college district, some students want to take classes maybe at Clovis Community or Madera Center or now Madera College. And the answer is yes, you can take some classes at another campus or other campuses. However, you want to be careful, because some of the general education courses might not count equally at Fresno City as it can count at another college. So if you're planning to take classes, let's say at Clovis Community, let us know so that we can figure out how those classes will fit into your general ed at Fresno City College, and we can give you the okay, or maybe, let's plan something else, or let's figure it out. But always, check out with us, and we will give you the information and try to guide you as the best that we can.
Lori, did you go over the tutoring website already, or how to access tutoring?
That's a great question. No, we did not. So,
So if you want to navigate to that, and I can just speak on that. Another thing, guys, is the importance of tutoring. You know, when I was a student at Fresno City College back in 2003, I'd never used tutoring, and I struggled dearly. College is far different from high school in that if you don't put forth the effort and you just show up to class, you're going to struggle. But if you take advantage of the help that we're offering, you'll be successful. And between myself, Lori, and Susanna, we see a ton of students, and we see really strong students, and we see very capable students. I personally, and I'm sure they share the same sentiment, there is no dumb student, right? What happens is that students fail to take advantage of instructor office hours and tutoring. And so, you know, the classes that you're going to be taking are going to be very challenging. And so you really have to take advantage of tutoring to be successful. So.
okay, so we are on our Fresno City College website, and under the academics tab, you guys will see the tutoring options link. So you're just going to want to click on that. And then we have lots of different types of tutoring. So we have a reading and writing center, specifically if you're working on like a paper or like your English class. And then we have the PASS, which is a peer assisted student study session. And that's specifically for English as well. And then we have the general tutoring and math. I want to say the math. Yeah, the math is down here. NetTutor is an online tutoring that we have that's available. It's not Fresno City College students that are going to be tutoring you. It's an outside company, but it's available 24/7. So that's kind of the good thing about NetTutor. Whereas you could do, you know, 2 o'clock in the morning tutoring. So it's whenever you're available, you can go on to NetTutor. But I really like the tutoring center. This is where I definitely recommend all my students to start with, especially if it's like a biology class or a history class or any other general ed class that you may, or major class that you may be in. You can just go onto the Tutoring Center online Canvas page. Again, it's going to have you log in, and then it's going to give you some general tutoring options. The good thing about this is it's going to be like one-on-one tutoring with a Fresno City College student who has already passed that class with like an A or a B. And so they're going to be great resources. They're from Fresno. They have done the Fresno City College classes. And so this is a really great resource. They're not going to be available at 2 in the morning. They're going to have certain times that they're available. So that's the reason that we have both options. But let's just say we want to, you know, go into the Fresno City College Tutoring Center. And this is just going to give a list of times that they're all available. And we want to go into the regular tutoring center. And let's see here. There we go. So if you have an accounting 4A or 4B class that you want tutoring, these are the scheduled times that accounting is going to be tutoring. And this is the Zoom link that you'll click on during that time to get a tutor. Again, not a lot of our students utilize these services, so it could be one-on-one tutoring completely free, which people normally will charge $40, $50, $60 for one-on-one tutoring. This is CIT, a computer class. If you guys are doing computer classes and need help, psychology, I mean, there's so many, nursing, Spanish, biology, different biologies. So anatomy versus human biology, microbiology.
And Lori, the other thing too is that you may encounter a tutor that their tutoring style just doesn't work with your learning style. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. That's actually common. If you encounter that, you can ask if there's a different tutor. You can talk to Eric Sanders, who's the coordinator, and his information should be somewhere on here, and request a different tutor. And even if your schedule doesn't work, he might be able to accommodate you. If you're, for whatever reason, maybe you want a different tutor or the schedule just isn't lining up, he'll help you. And so that's one of the things about Eric Sanders, the tutoring center coordinator. He's very accommodating, and he wants you guys to be successful.
Yes. Or if you don't see the class, if you need tutoring for a class that you don't see right there on the list, you can always request a tutor for that particular class, and they will help you with that as well.
Exactly. And then I had a question on the chat, is there any charges for any of our tutors?
No.
There's not. All of our resources, our tutoring center, Net Tutor, Pass, the Writing Center, the math tutoring, all of it is completely free.
That's why you pay your student fees. So.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That is one of the great benefits that you have as a student here at Fresno City.
So take advantage of the money that you're spending. And you know, to talk about money, you know, again, I always share about myself because I made a lot of mistakes. I got financial aid, and one of the things that I would do is go buy shoes, or like one time I bought an Xbox and Madden. It was the dumbest thing I could do. And I should have been using that money for school supplies, for tutoring. If I couldn't find a tutor that worked for me, I should have been using that money for tutoring. Just save your money, because this stuff adds up. And even though for some of you guys, you may get a lot of financial aid money, it never seems like it's enough. At the very least, save it for when you transfer, because when you transfer to the CSU or the UC, you're going to need every penny you can get your hands on, because it's just so expensive. And I'm telling you guys these things because nobody told me this. And so I hope that you guys don't make the same mistakes that I made. So be smart with your money.
And if you have any questions about financial aid, you guys can always reach out to financial aid and ask those specific questions, because they will give you the right information that you need. Because right here at Fresno City, you will be probably, if anything, paying hundreds of dollars, but once you transfer to the university, like Ernesto was saying, you're going to be paying thousands of dollars. So just think about it. It's hundreds right here, but it's going to be thousands over there. And it's going to be probably the double amount that you're going to be paying for books, because books are not cheap. Okay?
And everything seems to be going up. And, you know, you can probably walk away from your undergrad with zero debt. So again, just be smart with your money, spend your money wisely. Don't buy an Xbox or PlayStation or rims for your truck like I did.
Perfect.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to open it back up to you guys. If there's any questions that you guys have, you guys can put them in the chat and we'll read them out and answer if you don't want to unmute and ask. Oh, here's one.
Lori, can you make me a co-host, please?
I did. I just made you a co-host. Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, I'm wondering if students will need a lot of school supplies. So does anybody want to answer that, or do you guys want me to take it?
Go ahead.
So it depends on what classes you're taking, and it kind of depends on where you're starting out at. So if you're taking an art class, that's going to require additional, like if you're taking a sculpting class, you're going to have to buy the clay. If you're taking a drawing class, you're going to have to buy that big drawing board and maybe chalk or special pencils and things like that. Most of our classes do have books required, and then a lot of them now have like these online codes. So you have to buy like your Spanish book, and then you also have to buy the access code for the publisher, which is where you do some of your like homework or maybe take some online tests. It also depends, are you starting out with a laptop? If so, you don't need certain things, but certain things will make your life a little bit easier. So we do have computer labs on campus. If we ever open back up and get back onto campus, you guys can use computer labs in the library, in the business division. You guys can print for free in the business division. If you are an online student right now, you can check out a laptop. So if you guys are starting this semester and you don't have your own laptop, even if you have access to one, if you're sharing a laptop with a sibling or a parent or someone, get your own. They're free. You can check them out at the library, and that way it's always available for you to use. You're not going to have to compete.
The other thing too is if you do not have a laptop, and you do not have internet, the library is also checking out Wi-Fi, or what are they called?
MiFis.
MiFis.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Great.
take advantage of that. And obviously it's temporary, it's for the semester. One thing that we ran into last year, in the spring semester, was that the library was collecting their materials, like their laptops and their hotspots, before the semester ended. So students were trying to work on their projects and they had to return those items. So this is another example of what to spend your financial aid on is you know, pricing out internet service for your home. And you're going to need that anyways when you go back to school. So it's a good investment. And look at everything as an investment, right? Because you want to see a return on this, and this is certainly something that's going to help you out. So yeah, definitely take advantage of the library resource, like Lori was saying.
Yes.
Yeah. I can show you guys really fast as well so that you guys can know where to request one if you need one. And then we also had another question is when we go back, is there a dress code?
There is no dress code. Well, I will say there's not. However, you have to be.
You have to follow the law.
You have to follow the law, yes. You don't want to, you know, to go to the extremes either, but it's no dress code.
No dress code, and you do not have to ask to use the restroom. Nobody's going to be calling you if you show up to class. And so the onus is really on you, and you're now considered an adult, even though some of you may not be an adult.
Yes. So you have to be responsible for your own actions here in college. It's going to be on you, per se. Yes.
And some instructors will add additional like classroom rules. Like some instructors won't allow hats inside. Some instructors won't allow certain things, but they'll explain that all on the first day, and it'll be in the syllabus as well. So from our website, there's like this really cool coronavirus resource tab. This is very, very helpful. So you just click on this tab here, and then you come down and you would want to go to the For Students link, and it's resources for students. And there's a lot of resources here, and one of them is need an iPad, laptop, hotspot, or a calculator. And so you would just do the renewal request form here. If you have questions, you can definitely call. And yeah, like Ernesto was saying, you can extend your due date to December 16th, which is, I think, probably the last day of finals. Yeah, you would just click right there and then fill out the form, and somebody would get back to you. Give them a couple of weeks just because they are pretty busy, maybe like a week, and then you could follow up with them. And if you're not having any luck, definitely follow up with a counselor, and we can see if we can help you.
Yes.
Lori, I'd like to add one more thing.
Yeah.
You know, for a lot of us, this is our first time attending college, attending Fresno City College. There is a class that's designed to help incoming students, first generation students. When I say first generation students, I mean people who maybe you're the first one in your family to attend college. Counseling 53 is a 3-unit class that is transferable to the CSU or to the UC system. Susanna, you're not doing the general counseling 53, right? You're doing
Yes, I'm scheduled to teach counseling 53 this coming semester, starting on Monday. It's a 9 weeks class instead of the 18 weeks. So if you need a class, or if you're short on units, if you want a class that actually goes over all the techniques and skills that you need to be successful in college, counseling 53 is one of the classes that you want to take this semester.
It's a great class, and to be completely honest, it's not a very demanding class. And if you're a business major and you're transferring to the CSU, if you were to do all your GE work and all of your major work, you're still going to be shy about 6 units or so. So you need to pad your units with elective classes, and so counseling 53 would be a good option for you.
I don't think you need any electives. You'll be at 59 units if you take that history loophole. But it is a good class to take. Orlando asked, what are some reasons that you might be dropped from a class? When you have the first day of class, your instructor is going to give you a syllabus, and that's going to kind of explain all the expectations that they have for you for that class. So your instructor may say, if you don't show up one time in the first 3 weeks, I'm going to drop you, because that first 3 weeks you can drop without showing up on your transcript as a W. Other instructors might let you be absent the whole semester. Other instructors may say, if you're absent 5 times, I'm going to drop you. So it's really going to be up to the individual instructor, and it's going to be in the syllabus. Your instructor can't just drop you because for no reason. So it needs to be in the syllabus. Just make sure that you're following everything that the instructor is asking you to do.
But especially you want to show up the first day of classes, because you want to say, hey, I'm here, I'm for the class, don't drop me. Because if you don't show up the first day of classes, then the instructor is assuming that you are not showing up, that you're not interested in this class, and they're gonna drop you. So you want to be there the first day of classes for sure.
And if the class is a popular one that's in high demand, either because of the subject or the instructor, and they have a wait list, they're going to start, you know, getting rid of students who aren't checking in. And we get that all the time. It's like, why wasn't I dropped? And it's going to be probably a more common question this fall semester because we're starting online. Everyone is. And so a lot of people don't know that they need to check in those first couple of days. So definitely do that in all your classes.
Yes.
Yes. Log into Canvas, make sure that you're doing what your instructor is asking you. It's most likely going to be an introductory post where you say, hi, my name is so-and-so. This is my major. You
Very
know?
easy post.
Very
Yes,
easy.
yes.
But yeah, let them know that you're in the class and you're doing the work. Again, communicate with your instructors. If you're not able to purchase the book, let them know. Don't just not do assignments. If you're having an issue in class, let them know, you know, so that way, at least if you're communicating with them, most of the time our instructors are willing to work with you. But if you wait till finals week and you're like, oh, I missed the last 3 tests because, you know, so-and-so was in the hospital, they're going to be like, you should have told me 6 weeks ago. You know, now it's the last week of school. There's not much I can do about it. But if you tell them 6 weeks in advance, they can work with you. They can give you alternate assignments, or they can let you make up your tests at another time. So I would say definitely communicate with your instructors and check in on that first day.
Communication is key when you're taking online courses. Just keep that in mind, okay? And manage your time wisely, because you might say, oh, I want to take 2, 3, 4, 5 classes because everything is online. You have to manage your time. It's not only about taking classes online. It's about doing all the work, all the reading, everything that is required for that class, and completing those classes successfully. So just manage your time wisely. Communication is key. Make sure that you're there the first day of the classes, and, you know, anything that you might need, questions, you have your instructors, you have us to help you with any questions that you might have. So communicate and reach out.
Awesome. So it is 11 o'clock. I know most of our counselors have appointments on the, or I have appointments on the hour every hour. So I'm going to stop the recording now. I am free for the next 30 minutes if you guys want to stay on and ask any other questions. We did want to thank you guys all for coming.